Do you think there is a shadow government behind the Biden-Harris administration?
I mean, well, let me put it this way. It's not Biden. We know that for a fact. Okay. The dude has like barely got 2 functional neurons. So he was saying, oh, he's staying in the race, but then I guess the real powers that be told him he's not, you know?
It's like, so who is it that's behind him? We know Obama, okay? But Obama...
I mean, I'm just as curious as you are. As far as I can determine, there isn't any one sort of puppet master. It's more like there's 1,000 or, I don't know, a lot. But it's just obvious that Biden's not in charge. It's obvious that Kamala's not in charge. I mean, Kamala's, they just replaced the Biden puppet with the Kamala puppet. If the teleprompter stops working, then the puppet breaks. And it's like, oh. the puppet just starts looping because the teleprompter broke. I don't have a teleprompter. I can just talk like a normal human.
Elon Musk just held a heartfelt, impactful, and truthful town hall for the Trump campaign in Pennsylvania. He did it basically all himself, just him talking, him taking questions from voters. It does not seem scripted at all. He comes across so genuine, and he brings up real stuff going on. He even talks about deep state, talks about government spending, and he's just being himself, and it really had an impact. And we're going to go through some of the best clips from this 55-minute long town hall he hosted with his gold MAGA hat. It's Sean Daniel here. If you guys enjoy the videos, feel free to subscribe or just like down below. It does help out a lot. Now we're going to compare the campaign event of Elon Musk, on Twitter that is, okay, his live stream where he did it just by himself in Pennsylvania, with the campaign event of Kamala Harris, which was her and Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, the big entrepreneur guy right here. It was him and it was her. And on Twitter, she got 130,000 views as of right now, which is about 24 hours since it happened. And Elon Musk's full thing on Twitter, I know it's his platform, but it's still a major platform, got 12.4 million views. And when you go on YouTube, you find a lot of her rallies just get ratioed with a ton of dislikes. And there's a reason for that. That's because Kamala's campaign and events are just cringe. They don't state a lot of facts. People can see through the illogic ideology. And then the reason that Elon resonates when he has his events, we're going to see right now, is because he brings up real stuff that we're observing when it comes to politics. And he's also just being himself. You can sense it. This isn't like a hype video with a crazy title where everyone's like, oh my God, Elon Musk goes crazy. No, he just keeps it real, and that's what we want. So let's go through them right here.
And I think the things we all want are simple, sensible, I think common sense things. We obviously want secure borders. We want safe cities. Sensible spending, so that we don't have crazy inflation. We want freedom of speech. We want the Constitution to be upheld. And you know what? I'm being told at times that these are like right-wing values. I'm like, are you insane? There's literally the fundamental values that made America what it is today. And anyone who is against those things is fundamentally anti-American. And the hell with them. Yeah. Yeah. And
you can see he's just being himself. He's stating obvious common sense things that we all relate to. But because of the whole liberal media machine, it's become not so common. And the promotion of these ridiculous ideologies, not only through the media, but also through Hollywood, through songs, through social media. It seems wild to think these things. Let's see another one.
How can we be, the most powerful country in the world, and it's not safe to walk around our cities? What the hell is going on? Yeah. I mean, Soros, honestly, misanthropic. You know, for someone who has, you know, sort of claims to be doing good, but actually he is not. You know, he is tearing down the fabric of society. So terrible. Yeah. So, but I think it's just unbelievable that like you should be able to feel safe walking around American cities. How can we be?
See how relaxed he is. He's just bringing up logical things, and look how relaxed people feel to be able to share out loud at this town hall. Let's check out another one.
And the reason they had the First Amendment was because, you know, the countries people came from, if you spoke your mind, you'd be imprisoned or killed. That's why you have it. That's really important. And then the right to bear arms is also really important. That's there to protect, you know. I mean, the Second Amendment is there to protect the First Amendment. So, as soon as the government can disarm the people, they can do anything they want. And we've seen this in one country after another. They take the guns away from the people, then they do fake elections, and then the people try to protest and they just get shot. That's what happened in Venezuela recently. They had a fake election. Maduro lost, like massively lost, like, you know, 70% loss. And he's like, oh no, I won. And everyone's like, oh, you didn't win. There were big protests in the street. But the thing is that Chavez, when he came into power, took away everyone's guns. So now you're facing, you know, soldiers with assault rifles. Where you're going to throw some sticks at them or something? Use finger guns? It doesn't work. So Maduro, even though he lost the election, is still in power. And that's the kind of risk that we face.
And we faced it last time with the election, with all of the halted voting that happened. And then all of a sudden Biden won some states, taking forever to count the votes because we couldn't count them and find them. So even in our country where we have the right to bear arms, they're still pulling some sleazy stuff. So imagine if they continue to win elections and continue to pass different ridiculous laws that will not allow us to protect ourselves with the right to bear arms. Imagine what they might do.
I haven't been politically active before. I'm politically active now because I think the future of America and the future of civilization is at stake. So, yeah. I haven't been.
And he's just being himself. And he's taken such a powerful stance to buy Twitter or X and give people an opportunity to share their thoughts, to allow true information to be spread, unlike the Hunter Biden laptop story back in last election that got hindered because social media platforms were all in cahoots to hinder that story. There's a platform on Twitter because of the balls Elon has where we can find out really what's going on, like I am right now finding these clips.
Elon, first of all, welcome to Ridley Township.
Thank you.
Delaware County.
These guys.
And welcome to Ridley School District and our beautiful high school.
Yeah.
Because you made this your first stop, we'd love to make you an honorary Ridley Raider.
Thank you.
I'd like to give you this shirt, football jersey. Sports is big in Ridley, big in Delaware County. This is Musk's 67 counties in Pennsylvania. We got to turn every one of them red.
Great.
I'll be back.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So he gave him an honorary jersey. They appreciate what he's doing, you know? Look at this. He don't know what to do. He's like...
First question is, what can all of us here, everybody in this auditorium, everybody watching the live stream, what can we do now to make sure we get Donald Trump across the finish line in Pennsylvania and everywhere else in this country?
Yeah, it's fundamentally for the next 3 days, just everyone needs to focus on registering friends, family, acquaintances, everyone you know. Because if you're not registered by Monday, that's why I'm being sort of repetitive about this and really emphasizing this. Anyone not registered by Monday evening, or if they're registered incorrectly, their vote won't count. They won't be able to vote. So we got 3 days. It's all about registration every single day. And like I said, this election could be decided by a handful of people. It could just be that a little bit of extra effort on voter registration decides the entire future of civilization. So that's why I'm saying, man, this is, if there's ever a weekend to spend going hog wild on registration, this is it.
And when you do go out there, try to get people registered to vote, it's a hell of an effort. It's not as simple as he's saying, door knocking, walking around. It's a hell of an effort. But having done stuff like that myself, especially with the state of the election right now and how close the election was in 2020, close it was, it's important to do. And I think people are resonating with him just because he's honest. He doesn't come across on screen like he feels forced or there's this extra edge he has to him to try to sell you on why Trump's amazing. He's just stating common sense things. And look at how many people relate to him compared to all of the actors that come on screen and to talk about Kamala's campaign and try to sell you on it. So many people can see through it, and it's awesome.
I used to be really, really active in promoting, Trump campaign 4 years ago, and I got burned out, and I'm so frustrated, and it's all because of the cheating. So, what are we going to do with that?
Well, there is, I think, some amount of cheating that takes place. It's hard because they've, when you have mail-in ballots and no sort of proof of citizenship, it becomes almost impossible to prove cheating is the issue. So a lot of people on the Dem side will say there's no cheating, and I'm like, you've made it impossible to actually prove that there's cheating. But statistically, there are some very strange things that happen that are statistically incredibly unlikely. So, there's always this sort of question of, like, say, the Dominion voting machines. It is weird that I think they're used in Philadelphia and in Maricopa County, but not in a lot of other places. Doesn't that seem like a heck of a coincidence? So I think we should, in my view, we should only do paper ballots hand counted. That's it.
Makes sense.
I mean, I'm a technologist. I know a lot about computers, and I'm like, the last thing I would do is trust a computer program, because it's just too easy to hack. It's too easy to add just one line, and it's really difficult to hack paper ballots. So,
saying a lot.
It's in-person voting with proof of with ID, which, by the way, every country has. I mean, like almost every country that has democratic elections requires in-person voting with voter ID. It's super weird to not have that.
Yep.
I think that's the only way to effectively address fraud. Given that we are today, I think we just need a very big margin of victory.
Yeah, we do.
If the margin of victory is big enough, then as they say, it's got to beat the cheat.
Yeah, because the last time they pulled so much shady stuff because it was close, especially Georgia, Michigan, where all of a sudden, overnight, they found tons and tons of votes. Nah. If he's saying that he doesn't trust having voting being counted with computers, that says a lot. This man knows what he's talking about technologically.
Elon, first off, you're my hero, and I love your sneakers.
Thank you.
So if you do choose to be the head of the Department of Government Efficiency?
Yeah, Doge.
Yep. What do you think about we stop giving money to other countries such as Israel, Ukraine, and we stop funding forever wars that most likely is going to the deep state anyway?
Yeah. Well, I think in general the amount of waste that happens with the federal government is really staggering. It's a staggering amount of waste of taxpayer money.
It's insane.
And if we're, for any given expenditure, we have to say, well, what does this do for the citizens of America? Like, how is this good for the people of America? It's their money. Like, for some weird reason, a lot of people in the sort of, state or whatever, the politicians, they seem to forget that the money being spent is your money. And if it's not being spent in a way that is beneficial to the American people, it's a misuse of the funds.
And you see, he doesn't have this whole calculated answer to come up with a complicated explanation that's over your head and a lawyer type answer of, well, we have to use the money for this country because of this. Like, he's like, well, if it doesn't get used for us, then it's kind of a waste of money because it's our money, It's like the simplest basic thing that is being resonated by millions and millions of people because we're so used to getting the complicated, deep, overwhelming, well thought through answers that we're just like, okay, I guess they're right, but it doesn't really make sense.
My question is, do you think there is a shadow government behind the Biden-Harris administration?
I mean, well, let me put it this way. It's not Biden. We know that for a fact. Okay. The dude has like barely got 2 functional neurons. So, it's like, and he just seems to be at the beach a lot, and he's obviously not in charge. So, I mean, when the polls started going low on Biden, he was saying, oh, he's staying in the race, but then I guess the real powers that be told him he's not, It's like,
so who is it that's behind him? We know Obama, okay, but Obama...
I mean, I'm just as curious as you are. It is, as far as I can determine, there isn't any one sort of puppet master. It's more like there's 1,000 or, I don't know, a lot. But I mean, I'd like to talk to them to understand more about, listen, what are your goals, puppet masters? I'm just curious. I mean, maybe I agree with some of them. It's possible. But it's just obvious that Biden's not in charge. It's obvious that Kamala's not in charge. I mean, they just replaced the Biden puppet with the Kamala puppet. Very obviously. And so you can tell, like, if the teleprompter stops working, then the puppet breaks. And it's like, oh. the puppet just starts looping because the teleprompter broke. I don't have a teleprompter. I can just talk like a normal human.
That's true. This whole speech, he's just talking, taking random questions from people in the audience. And man, if he doesn't even know who's really running it, that is, or he's not willing to say, but I'm sure he has ideas of who's in charge. That's such a genuine answer about such a deep thing that is not talked about. Man, that's awesome. I probably put that as the hook of this video. We'll see.
Interesting to see the crossover between the Epstein client list and Kamala's puppet masters. I bet there's a lot of names that appear in both lists. Interesting to see the
brother's dropping some. Now let's see how this whole town hall ends on such a sweet note. Again, like I said before, he's just being so genuine, relaxed. You can tell he's being himself. Let's watch how this ends.
Yes.
Can you explain real quick why?
Should you have a pen? I don't know if somebody have a pen or something.
Kid interrupts him wanting to get signed autograph. Oh, they're bringing him up on stage. And what do you know? He has a Captain America sweatshirt on. Of course, the conservative kid has a Captain America sweatshirt. Wow, he's on stage with him. That's sweet. That's sweet. Kid don't know what to do.
All right, nice to meet you.
Obviously, that could be a dangerous precedent to set because now you have every kid at an event where Elon Musk is trying to come up. But, you know, he just comes across as genuine and sweet. And he stated a lot of real stuff in this town hall, which, again, did incredibly well. 12.5 million views. And it's impressive that he's going all out to try to get some more support for Trump just by speaking common sense, nothing crazy. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. It's itsSeanDaniel here, and I'll see you in the next one. I have another video right here if you do want to check it out. Thanks for watching.